Right. 1 January 2026. And today I'm so excited to be giving you the first live stream of the year. So this is the first time that I'm giving you the training news for 2026. And can you believe it? We have not slept since last year. So that is amazing. And today I've got some of the top stories that you can ever imagine on the first day of the year. And we are also launching the 10-day fast with the AFM in Zimbabwe Church. And I would like to invite you to join me as we embark on this amazing journey. 2026 is the year of financial freedom. So we have declared it the year of financial freedom. You're going to do so well. You're going to have all your problems solved. So from 6 a.m. today, do not eat anything. Do not drink anything until 6 p.m. when I come here, and I will release you in the name of Jesus. Yes. Pagaipa. Let us get started. And I'm going to start with some very heavy news. So today we've got heavy news. We are going to start with the emergence of war veteran Blessed Geza. Geza is back and is warning Mnangagwa that he's going to be removed in 2026. Geza has given a Christmas speech, a New Year speech, obviously not Christmas because Christmas is over, in which he explained that Mnangagwa and the people around him will be removed very soon. So I'm going to show you the speech and then I'm going to unpack it for you just a little bit.
Blessed Geza, Comrade Bombshell. Mune Zimbabwe ndinogamuchira ino mufaro chokutanga ndoda kutendai zvikuru nebasa ramakaita mugore ra2025 pakaitwa maachievements mahombe achievement hombe rakwanisa kuachirwa takabatana pamwe chete nepobwe yeZimbabwe inyaya yekuti takamisa 2030 vachida vasingadi 2030 takaimisa. Right. Saka mure Zimbabwe tinokutendai ngatirambe takabatana. Taakupinda mugore ra2026. Gore ra2026 igore rekudzosera masimba evanhu kuvanhu. Saka gore ra26 pane maprogram akawanda atakaronga ekuti power idzoke tobvisa vanhu vedu musungwa. Right? Wejob raMnangagwa nezvigaranda zvake. Saka mure Zimbabwe ngatirambe takabatana. 2026 igore remasimba evanhu.
Okay, so you can clearly see Geza is back, he's adamant, and he said that in 2026 Mnangagwa will be removed. Also, he's taking credit for the fact that Mnangagwa is no longer going to 2030. As I've been saying here to you, Mnangagwa is no longer going to 2030. It's never going to happen. There will be nothing in Parliament because Mnangagwa has said he is not going to 2030. So a new plan is on the table. And yesterday we've seen Tagwirei. Tagwirei has come out yesterday showing off his family. And I believe that he has started the process of branding himself. So in 2026, we're going to see Tagwirei branding himself, trying to put himself into the public. Remember, previously, Tagwirei was only known by himself. So he's now going to create a presidential brand for himself. That is himself, his child, his wife, and probably his other child. I'm not sure who the other two are, but Tagwirei is creating a brand for himself. And as Geza says, they are going to continue. So we're going to see a continuation of what was happening in 2025 in terms of ZANU-PF. They are still considered as Ugananda. So we believe that a negotiation had taken place, but it's clear that a negotiation has not been concluded. and Geza still believes that they have to fight Mnangagwa. So that is where we are. Let's see how that goes. Because Mnangagwa said it's not going to 2030, so I don't know if it's going to be a fight or it's going to be a pushover. Let's see what happens. Who gets pushed in 2026? In 2025, Mnangagwa was on top in terms of resisting the push. Is he going to manage in 2026? Let's wait and see. Then Tagwirei, as I said, moving around and being seen with other people in public, particularly Themba Mliswa and also his family. Very important. Watch very closely what Tagwirei does. 2026 is going to be a very different year. And what is going to happen, you have never seen. We are starting this year with a funeral. So tomorrow, there's going to be a burial. This is going to happen at the National Heroes Acre. Chiwenga is going to appear for the first time at the burial of retired Major, decorated Major Tizirai Mathias Ngarava. He's going to be buried tomorrow. Today, Chiwenga took over as the president of Zimbabwe. So he's now the acting president of Zimbabwe after Muhadi ended his term. So Muhadi had his short term, which was from around the 25th to the 31st. And the burial is going to be done by Chiwenga tomorrow. So we're going to see Chiwenga for the first time tomorrow, taking charge as the acting president of Zimbabwe. Chiwenga is going to be president until the 13th, at which point Muhadi is going to come back and finish the term. We're going to see something very interesting. Watch very closely tomorrow what happens. And as I said, we're entering a new era. 2026 is the year when the new president of Zimbabwe, the new president of ZANU-PF, is going to start taking his position or her position. So you're going to see that in 2026, as Mnangagwa is going to be taking a back seat, although given the characteristic of ZANU-PF, you're not going to see that openly. But in the background, people are starting to take positions. People falling behind Chiwenga and other people falling behind Tagwirei. You will see who does better. And it will all be to do with the funds. Who gets more money, that person is going to do much better. I said it yesterday. It's now going to be all about money. And Mnangagwa side are running out of money. So Mnangagwa side are running out of money. The people who fund Mnangagwa, the people who fund Tagwirei, they are running out of money. Today we have seen the first report from Mutapa Fund. So I'll show you what has happened at Mutapa Fund. So the money that they've been collecting is running out. And therefore, the next person that is going to become president, it will depend on how much money they raise. And I don't know if Chiwenga is able to raise funds. You have heard the rumors that Chiwenga is currently trying to raise funds in Dubai. So that is the rumors that we've heard. That is what Zimbabwe intelligence believes, that Chiwenga is trying to raise funds in Dubai. And I've also mentioned yesterday that Terence Mkupe has moved to Dubai. So look very carefully at what is going to happen. We have a massive development that is going to take place. And it's all going to depend on funds. We also have people in jail, which I've mentioned yesterday. Francesco Maconati and Lee Song. People like that, they're going to play a big part in what is going to happen. So funding of the next push will need a lot of money. It will need a lot of communication. It will need a lot of campaigning. And this year is a defining year. 2026 is going to be very big. So watch tomorrow as Chiwenga speaks at the burial of retired Major, decorated Tizirai Mathias Ngarava, and see what happens and how he pushes over there. Very interesting. And we're all going to be there watching. Then let's go to a sad situation that is developed. So in Guruve, another body has been discovered at Guruve. So this is not a new body. What happened is that the Zimbabwe National Army, when they were deployed, there was a missing headman. So a headman called Headman Chawora or Sabuku Chawora was missing when the army arrived in Guruve. So after the army arrived and intelligence, arrived, they started to patrol, and they were notified that there was a missing headman who had not been found. So yesterday, the headman's body has been found in the mountains, and 2 youngsters have been arrested. In fact, 4 youngsters have been arrested for that murder. So these 4 are not connected to the current murders that are taking place. However, according to the councillor, the local councillor who spoke to Sly Media TV, there is a whole bunch of lawlessness taking place in Guruve, with many murders taking place since October. And when these people are found who commit these crimes, they are found with charms, they are found with traditional or things that they've been given by traditional healers. And this is the same case here. These guys were found with the phone, they were found with the shoes, they were found with the clothes of the killed or murdered Sabuk Chawora. And they've been taken to jail. They are ex-convicts, and one of them had been released from jail after he was arrested for stealing stock, that is goats, and eating the meat and then burying the carcasses and the heads somewhere else. So the release of these people by the police is now a problem. So this young man here, these 2 young men you're seeing, one of them was released by the police after being arrested for stock theft, was released and found to have committed nothing. And then he went on to commit the murder. So we have a serious problem. My understanding is that there are more people who are missing, and we'll be hearing more in the next few days. But what we have is that Headman Chawora, who was killed and who was missing, his body has now been found. And it is said that there are more people in the dam. So the divers of the Zimbabwe National Police and Army are expected to go in here and find those bodies which are in the water. So it's expected that if they go in the water, they will find more people. But there is a bunch of lawlessness in Guruve taking place right now, as there is illegal mining taking place. And previously, police and intelligence were not doing a good job. But right now, they have covered the area of Guruve. It's the most highly protected area. And I hope that they find a solution to what is happening right now. But these 2 have been arrested. So they've been arrested and taken in. 4 people arrested for the murder of the missing Sabuk Chawora of Guruve. Okay, so I think that is clear. So sad to see this happening in Guruve, but more people are said to have been affected. It is also said that the guys who are committing the murders are holding people hostage in their homes, and they are going in at night and forcing people to cook for them. So let's see how that develops. Seeing that the intelligence is over there, let's see how that develops. All right, then let's quickly go into the accident which happened yesterday. Makadzi has been involved in an accident. So Makadzi is a South African musician, well known in Zimbabwe. She has been involved in an accident and is currently in hospital. So we'll let you guys know today what is happening with Makadzi. By midday when I come back, I'll let you know. And then false prophet from Ghana, Ebonoa, who predicted that the earth will end on the 25th of December 2025, has been arrested. This is after he is said to have taken millions from people who believed that the world was coming to an end, and he misused the funds. So he took the money and he misused it, and the police have now arrested Ebonoa and thrown him in jail. I hope he doesn't come out because he's such a liar. He lied to so many people. First doomsday prophet Ebonoa has been arrested. So what a good day for everybody. And then Winky D and Prayzah have done it. They have filled the stadium or wherever they were performing. I didn't follow this, but they have filled it up. And then Bushiri has done it. He has filled up the stadium or wherever I was performing. I didn't follow it because I was so busy yesterday. And then let's quickly go into Mutapa, and then we'll go to Parliament. So I want to give you guys a bit of detail of what has happened with Mutapa. So the Herald newspaper has today published the first results of Mutapa. So as I was saying to you, Mnangagwa and the people around him have run out of money. There's no more money, and they're going to be struggling a lot going into 2028. They are not going to manage to go to 2030. The only person left with money right now is Winky. Winky appears to have some money. I don't know how, but Mutapa has run out of money. So according to the new financials from Mutapa, all the companies that they have, 34 companies, are loss-making, and they need 10 billion to be funded. And the only company that is making money, or the only two companies that is making money, is the gold mining companies and Fidelity and probably POSB in the financial services sector. The rest of them are making losses, 34 companies making losses, and they need $10 billion to be able to revive them. Currently, they've only raised $1 billion. So if you are needing 10 billion and you only raise 1 billion, there's not much to steal. So there's not much to steal left. I don't know if they've stolen it, but there's nothing much left to steal. And Mutapa is a shell. So it's a shell and nothing is coming out of it. You've got companies like Zesa, NRZ, Tel1, Net1, POSB. So like I said, POSB is the one that is actually doing well, and Fidelity is doing well, but the rest of the companies there are not doing well. So I'll show you guys on Gambakwe what is happening with Mutapa, but it's a shell. At the moment, nothing is happening over there. So that is what has happened, but it's a good thing that they've released the results. And if I find any value in it, I'm going to come back and unpack the results for you, but I don't think I will do it because it's self-explanatory. And what I've given now is enough. We'll do it as a post on Gambakwe, and then we'll share it with you later on today. And then one of the most important developments and the reports has also come out of Parliament. So the Parliament of Zimbabwe has released a report on the current bills. So there are 17 bills that were before Parliament in 2025. And the Parliament of Zimbabwe has been very unproductive in 2025. Only 3 out of the 17 bills have passed through Parliament and are now laws. The rest of them are still in a status where they are actually not even started. So 3 have been blocked, and those 3 are the most important bills. 7 are active, and another 3 have just started. They only started in October. So in October, that's when they started, and therefore the Parliament of Zimbabwe did nothing in 2025. But what is most important is what has not been passed, what has been blocked. So you are aware that the government of Zimbabwe under Mnangagwa has proposed that the retirement age of a civil servant is 70 years. They've also proposed that the army and the police increase their retirement age to 70 years old. However, the bills relating to that have not been passed and have in fact been blocked. So the 3 bills that are blocked are the most important for the expansion of the age group. So there is a bill called the Public Service Bill that is stalled and blocked because it's illegal. Currently, the civil service extension of age is being done through a special instrument or an SI. And that is, if the actual bill fails, it will no longer be allowed for someone to go to 70 years. And then we've got the police amendment bill, which has also been blocked. So if you think you're going to go to 70 years and you're in police or you're in public service, you must be aware that anything could happen if these bills are blocked, because they're actually currently, they've not passed the lawyers of Parliament. So that is the Parliamentary Legal Committee has found that these bills, there's something wrong with them, and they've blocked them from being pushed forward. So Mineral and Mines Bill, Public Service Bill, and State Service Pensions Bill are now currently stalled, with the Police Amendment Bill not yet started. It has not even started as yet. So this is very important to understand. Parliament very dysfunctional at the moment, and many of the things that are supposed to happen are not happening. All right, I think I've talked a lot. Let's go to the newspapers. So let's look very quickly at the Herald newspaper. I've already given you a snippet. So let's look and see what else is in the Herald newspapers. Then we'll go to the Chronicle. So the Herald guys are doing a good job. What is going to happen is probably they are going to have to merge all the newspapers, because it's not making sense to have 3 or 4 newspapers and have all the stuff. So it's going to be very difficult for the staff at Zim Papers. And I want you guys to be aware that it's going to be tough. Olinda is looking amazing. I like her. She looks very good. So look at her going into court over there. So that is Olinda Chapel. She's looking amazing. I think for a lady from the UK, she's doing very, very well. I wanted to say more, but I won't say more. But she is doing very, very well. Going into court over there. And let's say Chapel. So let's see what happens. On December 17 last year, Chapel unlawfully and intentionally generated and sent a Facebook-like video in which she shouted at Tafrenika, labeling her a lady of the night. So this is what she said. Let me just put the picture of Olinda here so that you guys can be watching. So this is very important for us to unpack, because what is cyberbullying? So cyberbullying is very clear. It's an illegal activity in Zimbabwe. So I want to show you what she's actually being charged with. So many of you have the question of why is Olinda in court? And let's unpack what is being said here. So on December 17, Chapel unlawfully and intentionally generated and sent a Facebook live video in which she shouted at Tafrenika, labeling her a prostitute. Chapel allegedly threatened to deal with Tafrenika and posted the video on social media, accessible to everyone, with the intent to intimidate or harass, threaten, bully, or cause substantial emotional distress, or to degrade, humiliate, or demean Tafrenika. She was remanded out of custody to January 16 this year, pending the finalization of the investigation. So basically, this is all that is here. There is nothing else. She was ordered to report, and she paid $100 bail. So as I said to you, she's UK based, and this is very important for us to understand why Olinda Chapel was sent, was given this, was brought to court. But anyway, we know what happened and why. She named people there. She mustn't name. So don't just name people. Even if you're excited, don't name people in your life. And then there is obviously condolence message from the Minister of Defense. Let's see if they've got a number at the bottom. Yes, they have got a number at the bottom. So that is the Minister of Defense there. And then very important, CMED acquires 20 chrome mine claims. In their investigation, you can go and read the Herald newspaper. The Herald newspaper doing very well. But I'll show you something else that has happened, which is not here. I'll show you later on. So let's go to the Chronicle newspaper and see what is in the Chronicle newspaper of Zimbabwe. So newspapers will have to work harder. It's going to be very hard. It won't be justifiable to have two, 3, 4 newspapers typing the same thing. So you're going to see a lot of change at Zim Papers, especially if they make another loss in 2026. So let's go to the Star. The Star newspaper is not published. Let's go to Business Day. Business Day is not published. Let's go to Malawi Times. Malawi Times, one of the newspapers that I actually think publishes a lot. They have published the Daily Times. So 1 January 2026, they've got a version. And APM signals hope for 2026. And then let's see what else is here. Floods leave 4 dead, 9,000 families affected. And MISA condemns 2025 attack on journalists. So this man who is here is called Matonga. So let's see who is. The Media Institute of Southern Africa, Malawi, has described 2025 as a year in which attacks on press freedom has increased. So MISA Malawi chairperson Gordon Matonga says citizens faced repeated violence. So that is in Malawi over here. And then you can go and read the newspaper. It's widely available online, and they will give you the newspaper for free. So most of these newspapers are available for free. And then let's go to Zambia. There's something very important I want to show you guys that has happened in Zambia. So a survey has been carried out, and it has concluded that President Hakainde Hichilema has got a chance of winning the elections, which are going to be held in Zambia this year, of more than 60%. So more than 60% of Zambians want President Hakainde Hichilema to continue as the president of Zambia. So President Hakainde Hichilema doing very well. Also being named the best African president of 2025. So I'll give you details on that later on, so that you can understand my favorite president, President Hakainde Hichilema. And I wish him luck in the election, which is going to take place very soon. So there'll be an election that is going to take place in Zambia. And Zambia is blessed to have President Hakainde Hichilema as their president. So I don't have any new newspapers from Zambia. So the only newspaper we have here is from September and December. So most of them are closed. Let's go to our people. So we're going to go quickly and see who is celebrated. So let's start with the people that are always on top. I'm going to look at, let me start with Chidosa Nyatwe. Chidosa Nyatwe is celebrating her birthday. So she celebrated and thanked the people of Nyanga. Sorry, I'm not displaying that so that you guys can see. So Chidosa Nyatwe is celebrating her birthday. She celebrated her birthday and has got a very nice poster of a birthday over here. So go check it out on Chidosa Nyatwe's page. So one of the best and most engaging people in the government. We like more people like this. 2 people in the parliament or in the government of Zimbabwe in one house. So imagine the bodyguards of Chidosa Nyatwe meeting the bodyguards of Anzela Mzanyatwe at breakfast. Pano pizza. The girls guard Chido and the guys guard Anzela. Pakaipa. How does that work? So that is how it works. This family has got 2 ministers in one house. That is very interesting. And as I said, in 2028, you're going to see a lot. You're going to see Anzelam coming up and contesting. So we are going to have a lot of competition in ZANU-PF. Starting this year, 2026, you will see it happening. And it's going to be very, very interesting. And then, Anzelam Mzanyatwe himself has been out and about. I'll show you what has happened yesterday when the warriors arrived back in Zimbabwe. Then let's look at other people. Who else is here? I want to look at Mini. Where is Mini? Is Mini back? Is Mini in the village? Because Murora anofana kuenda kumusha pa holiday. Akaenda here kuwedza. Let's see. She's not covering anything, so she's in Wedza over there. And then let's look at President Hakainde Hichilema. President Hakainde Hichilema, as I said, amazing president. And Happy New Year. May 2026 bring you joy, peace, and love. Bali. So that is fellow citizens.
Fellow citizens, tonight, as we stand on the threshold of a new year, I want to speak to you from my heart. The Holy Bible tells us in the book of Exodus, how.
Yes. So go check it out over there. President Naganishlema, I watched the whole speech. He's amazing. President Dumaboko. Let's see what President Dumaboko has said. Remember, President Dumaboko was in South Africa on a private visit. So there is the amazing 2026 message. And let's see what else he did. Through song and melodies, words of encouragement, our artists poured out love and hopes as they wished a happy birthday. As they wished me a happy birthday. So President Dumaboko is celebrating his birthday. That is amazing. The 31st of December over there. Okay, so go check out the birthday of President Dumaboko. Amazing stuff. I cannot believe it. That is his birthday yesterday. So let's go to X and see Chamisa. My homeboy, Chamisa is going to do war in 2026. It's going to be a year of drama. And if Chamisa doesn't launch, it's going to be so painful for Zimbabweans. So let me look at Nelson Chamisa and see what he said over here. So Nelson Chamisa was in Gutu. So let's see what he said over here. Nelson Chamisa, thank you for the love, encouragement, and positivity that made 2025 so special. Here is to an amazing and extraordinary 2026. So that is Nelson Chamisa over there, looking very nice, looking very interesting. Look at Chamisa's shirt. It's white. Do you know what white stands for? Do you guys know what white stands for? That is the color of Chamisa's new thing. So everything that Chamisa is doing is white. So if you didn't realize, if Chamisa is doing his stuff, he's wearing white. Look at that. So he is giving you a signal. So all the people are starting to wear white. Look at that. So white is the new color of Nelson Chamisa. Even the robot is white. So Nelson Chamisa doing so well. Let's see what is going to happen. Chamisa has been out and about, and white is the color. Look at that. If you haven't noticed, go and look at Nelson Chamisa's page. You're going to see the white. So the white color is going to be big in 2026. And I look forward to seeing whatever is going to come out of it. And then let's look at Anselam Sanyatwe before I go to Mnangagwa. I want to show you what Anselam Sanyatwe has done. So Sanyatwe has welcomed the warriors. And my understanding is that Wikino has given them $250,000. So the warriors were humiliated on arrival at the Robert Mugabe International Airport. They were humiliated through song. So some people were standing around singing, mocking songs. And however, Sanyatwe was obviously here. And I don't think he's standing here, but I'm seeing Nyandoro there. I'm seeing also their sad faces. They were very sad. This was not a victorious return. But what happened was not supposed to happen. I'll show you at the end what happened over there. But Sanyatwe doing very well and supporting the warriors. He is a very active minister. And I think they must give him a new portfolio when they do the reshuffle, which must come. Give him the roads, please. Give Sanyatwe the roads. And let's see what happens. If they give Sanyatwe the roads, it will be amazing. So we'll see something different over there. Then let's look at First Lady. She's spending a lot of time in Nyabira. So what Australia is doing in Nyabira is very interesting. There's a lot of poverty there. And she's spending a lot of time over there. So 13 hours ago, she was in Nyabira. So I am deeply humbled that fellow women from Mashonaland West Province have joined hands to support the feeding scheme. So she's opened the feeding scheme for kids there. And guys, this is amazing. This area is one of the poorest areas. They need to give stands here and make people have homes. But already Councillor Mnangagwa doing so well. Then let's go to Mnangagwa. Let's go to President of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa. So let's look at Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa, has he issued a statement? No. Mnangagwa has not issued a statement. And who has issued the presidential statement? So who did the presidential statement? Because someone was supposed to issue a statement like Happy New Year or something. No one did. So no one did it. Let me see if Mohadi has an X. Because someone was supposed to say Zimbabweans, Happy 2026. No one did it. And then let's look at Opa Mchinguri. Did she do it? So it appears as if no one in the government of Zimbabwe has issued any statement on the new year. And this is because Mohadi was acting. So I hope that Chiwenga will make a video today. What I want to encourage Chiwenga to do is to understand that everything is moved to video. So if you look at the current presidents that we have, they don't wait for TV station. They don't wait for someone to talk for them. They go direct to the people. Look at Mutharika, what he did. Yesterday, he had something to say about his vice president. He went straight on Twitter and said it. We have President Hakainde Hichilema, we just saw him talking. Look at President Ramaphosa. I want to show you President Ramaphosa. So let's quickly look at President Ramaphosa here. I want to show you what President Ramaphosa did. So Zimbabwe, it needs to change because we've got technology now. So what technology does, it takes away the gap or the distance between the president and the people. So let me see what President Ramaphosa said here. So President Ramaphosa issued a statement yesterday. Let me show you what it was saying so that you guys can understand how important this is. So there is President Ramaphosa over here, 12 minutes.
Resolve and hope. The year behind us was not easy. Many South Africans faced the strain of a myriad of challenges over the past year. It continues to be a matter of concern that many South Africans are unemployed and that poverty and inequality persist.
Do you see that? That is the president of South Africa. I can go all over the place looking for what presidents are doing on X, on Facebook, everywhere. And the love that the presidents have. So let me give you why I'm always saying to you that Mnangagwa is followed. Mnangagwa is followed because people want to see what the president says. They actually want to see the president speaking. They want to say, what is our president saying? And Mnangagwa, compared to any other president, is the most followed. So let's say on X, the population of South Africa is 50 million. Ramaphosa only has 3 million followers on X. The population of Zimbabwe is 14 million. Mnangagwa has got 1.1 million followers. So people want to hear what Mnangagwa has to say. And remember, other presidents have got multiple platforms, and we're losing an opportunity here to communicate. And 2026, I believe it's a year when Zimbabwe must be normalized and things start to work, because we've got so many things that need to work which are not working because we're fighting each other all the time. And that is the reason. So 12 minutes of a speech, very interesting. That is, a president gets to speak. And even people who don't have TV, they download it and they send it to many different people, and you get to see what the president is saying. So lost opportunity there for the government of Zimbabwe, where they did not speak directly to the public. Right. As I said, Gambakwe, the most biggest, fastest, and quickest streaming platform in the country. We hope to do better in 2026. I'm going to continue to give you 3 or 4 streams a day. And our newspapers are widespread. They cover the whole of SADC. And we're going to do so well. I'm going to travel all over the globe. And I hope to do more stuff in Zimbabwe, which is our home country. We've got great love for Zimbabwe. And we'll continue to represent the views of the Zimbabwe in the region. So in SADC, there is no single person who doesn't watch Gambakwe. Go to TikTok, go to X, go to YouTube. Gambakwe is watched by millions of people, and we cover the important topics. So we are shaping the opinions in our region, and I like it. But what I want to announce today is obviously the 10-day fast of the AFM in Zimbabwe, which is one of the biggest churches in Zimbabwe. We're going to join, and I'm going to be joining also. So that is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is a dry fast for the AFM of Zimbabwe. And we're going to pray for your financial freedom. So pray for your own financial freedom. If you don't want to be financially free, stay without financial freedom. We want you to be financially free. And that means you sit down and you take a moment to reflect and consider yourself and what has happened in 2025. How can you do better? How can you improve your life? And where are you going? So think about it. If things continue the way they are, what is going to happen to you? And give your hands or yourself to God. So give yourself to God in the next 10 days. For me, it's going to be 30 days because we've got a lot to cover. And my biggest wish is obviously that we can have peace and development in our country. Particularly, I'm very pained by our people that are currently in jail. So as I said to you, I'm currently in the process of trying to arrange a meeting with Mnangagwa so that we can arrange and discuss my request for an amnesty for people like Nyoka Mabunu. Nyoka Mabunu has been in jail since around March, April, and he's not come out. He has never been tried. Similarly, we've got war veterans who are in jail. We've got Chawora who is in jail. We've got Matsibaba Shanduko who is in jail. These are just youngsters, and we want to talk to Mnangagwa to obviously release them, and we'll talk to them so that when they come out, they don't do anything crazy. Because what we want is peace. We want people to build our country, not to fight each other. That is my wish. And I would like to obviously hope that we'll be able to have that meeting with Mnangagwa. And we've got a lawyer that we're working with. You remember that we had lawyers that we're working with the last year. We're going to also continue to work with them. They'll probably do some of the negotiation for us behind the scenes. But we need to negotiate for some sort of amnesty to take place for everyone who's in jail, on condition that when they come out, they don't continue, and we are all obviously going to be held responsible if they do anything. So we want them to be out. There is no point in all these people staying in jail for months and months. So very important to cover that in 2026. So I'm so excited. You have been saying blue for Chamisa. No, it's white. So I would like to thank all of you for watching. Please support our sponsor, Mve. It doesn't mean when you're fasting, you also fast. You don't fast, you only fast the food. We don't want you to say, Gambakwe said, I must fast to your wife. Don't fast. Please, fast food only, 6 to 6. Don't fast. I would like to thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you guys around midday. Continue to do the fast, and we'll look for a pastor from the AFM who's going to work with us. It's a private thing. This is your own private. You know what you want. Go over there. A fast is one of the most powerful things that you can ever do. But for this week, I'm your pastor. So at 6 p.m. every day, don't eat before we come here and have a prayer so that your things can work. Your financial freedom is 2026. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later, and a good day to you all.